Forget your notions of Patagonia. Join us for an adventure in an unspoiled land. Patagonia is a pot of gold awaiting you. Our trip to Patagonia begins with a flight into Buenos Aires, crossing the spine of the Andes. Once we arrived at our hotel, we met our trip leader, Caro,
Wow, you started at 3?
and were treated to a short course in the soul of Argentina, the tango.
Our musician here, the pleasure Sofia. Yes. As I was saying, we're going to teach you the Argentinian traditional tango.
Buenos Aires is a cosmopolitan city of 3 million, with 11 million more in the metro area. Our local trip leader took us on a tour of the city. Ecstatic for Argentina winning the World Cup, 4 million fans crowded downtown to celebrate.
Vamos, Argentina. Argentina, not Argentina. Argentina. Vamos a ganar. A ganar.
Let's go, let's play, let's win.
Let's win.
Excellent.
Mothers of Playa de Mayo still march in defiance over the disappeared more than 40 years ago. During lunch, we listened to a lecture on the disappeared. After lunch, we strolled a local street fair before packing for our flight to Calafate the next morning. Flying south from Buenos Aires to Calafate, we learned about the katabatic winds. Air masses forced up the western Andes accelerate downslope on the eastern side. Lenticular clouds in the sky portend strong breezes. Desert-dried though it is in Calafate, Patagonia, glacier-fed lakes abound, and the beer and steaks are legend. Argentinians praise Gauchito Gil as a folkloric patron saint with shrines all about Argentina.
So, if we are not high above the sea level, and we are not extreme close to the South Pole, why we have glaciers? So, we are
Caro
in
explains why we find glaciers in Patagonia.
Surrounded by water. You get the picture?
Oh yeah.
So it's not that we have the humidity coming from Chile or from the Pacific Ocean. We get the humidity coming from all over the world. So even though the natural barrier is not that high, it's high enough to stop the wind. So basically, I'm the wind, I will encounter the mountains, condensation process, rains. Our neighbors got greener grass in Chile. Then the wind keeps on blowing, and in the upper part of the mountains, it's not that high, but it's high enough to have condensation and instead of having rain, snow.
Today, we are headed for a glacier, part of the southern ice fields in Argentina, the Perito Morena Glacier. On our way back to Calafate, we stopped at our trip leader's home for some local flavor. And then we went for a home-hosted dinner of delicious lamb stew.
I'm Andrea from Delaware. Okay.
Don, not from Delaware,
Okay.
but from San Diego.
San Diego.
But let's get back to Delaware. I'm Ann from Delaware.
Delaware. Okay. Very good.
Don from Colorado.
Early the next morning, we headed south and enjoyed guanaca and crested caracara sightings. From this waterfall, the Chilean National Park of Torres del Paine in the distance was where we were headed. Traveling south and to the west, we came across one of the most iconic scenes in Patagonia. Rising magma within a chamber formed these mountains. At park headquarters, we received a lecture on the geology of the park before heading to a ranch or estancia.
Such as the wind, the rain, the snow, the water that gets into the crevasses.
To see them around here in order to get back to their territories in this area. You see?
At least like 2 hours since he started to
We arrived at the Estancia Pingo Salvaje in time to hear about the gaucho lifestyle. And what I learned is that it's a lot of work. We boarded Stella Australis in Punta Arenas and got underway heading east up the Strait of Magellan. We were fortunate that there was only 90 passengers with 67 crew. After a morning hike ashore in Ainsworth Bay, we intersected the Beagle Channel, named after Charles Darwin's ship, and stopped to explore the Pia Glacier spilling off the Darwin Mountains.
All of this was covered by ice. Everything. It got to 2,000 meters of ice. Another great day. Tonight, we celebrate our captain and the birthday of the engineer. Tomorrow, we head to Cape Horn. At Cape Horn, the South Pacific and the South Atlantic collide. About 400 miles separate Cape Horn from the Antarctic peninsula.
My penguins are looking like logs now.
It can be wet getting ashore,
But once up the ladder and steps, I was truly honored for the privilege. There is the lighthouse and monument honoring the 400 ships and thousands of sailors who found the rounding their last cruise. Then it was time to get back aboard our ship before the weather changed. Headed into Wulaya Cove, inhabited for thousands of years, and chosen by Darwin as his landing site. It's a bit of a climb, but the view is worth it. Back to Australis for a party tonight, Ushuaia tomorrow.
Cheers!
Our cruise aboard Australis was ending. We explored Tierra del Fuego and the waters in and out of the Beagle Channel and the Strait of Magellan. Now it was time to visit the southernmost city in the world, Ushuaia, home to 40,000 people. Ushuaia lives mostly for the tourist trade. It is the hub for cruises to Antarctica. Ushuaia is Argentina and closest to the Malvinas. It is still haunted by an unnecessary war that killed more than 600 young and left many more scarred for life. We lunched in the home-built home of a talented family and learned of their life in this southernmost city. These are Magellanic penguins, and they congregate here in season to breed. Time to say goodbye to these southern waters and fly north to Iguazu Falls. Our group boarded a boat in the nearby delta where the Paraná and the Rio Delta Plata combine. They explored the La Tigre region where beautiful homes and island life resides. Iguazu Falls are wider and taller than Niagara Falls. They form a border between Brazil and Argentina. Words pale at describing these falls. Pictures, too, are inadequate. They must be experienced to get the measure of them. It's time to say goodbye and head back home.